Mary Kay, Sam Darnold had his pro day on Wednesday, and it really seems like the Browns are kind of leaning that way right now. It's still early in the process, but did Sam Darnold clinch the #1 spot throwing in the rain at USC's pro day?
Well, I don't know if he clinched it, but he probably came pretty close. I think if the draft were tomorrow, the Browns would probably take Sam Darnold. But they are going to Wyoming to watch Josh Allen throw on Friday, and he is going to be a tough quarterback to pass up just based on his size, his arm strength, his mobility, and all the things that he can do too.
Yeah, but of course Darnold, couldn't have worked out better for him. Throwing in the rain, just a downpour. You don't see that a ton out in California. Obviously, look, that was shorts weather here in Ohio, but it was still good to see him kind of fight through that, make some good throws. He showed off his arm, showed off his accuracy, showed off his mobility, but we also didn't get to see how he would respond with fumbles, interceptions, things like that.
Well, fortunately for him, he hung on to the ball in the rain, and I think that was important. He's got a 9 3/8 inch hand, whereas Josh Allen's is 10 1/4. And to some people that matters, to some people that it doesn't. But the Browns have said hand size does matter to them. So for him to be able to hang on to the ball in that weather, I think that was key. And I think he did a lot of things. We saw they were out in full force. Jimmy Haslam was out there sitting in the stands talking to the Darnold parents. So I think he helped himself a lot with his pro day, but we shall see.
And the other key part of this too is, what did they talk about at dinner the night before? What's going to happen when they put him on the board and kind of test his ability to retain information? And of course there was the interview at the combine, all of those things. There's so much to this that goes beyond just throwing against air on his pro day.
Yeah, and you know what? They also have to be leaders. I mean, when they meet with these guys in these interviews, on these pro days, in these privates, they want to know that they can be the leader of a football team, that they can step in and command the huddle, command the locker room, and do all those sorts of things. So those guys have to prove over the next week or so that they can do that too.
And of course, Coach Helton was had very high praise for Sam Darnold in that regard, as you'd expect his college head coach to have for him. So if you want to see more about Sam Darnold's pro day, Josh Allen's pro day, all of that, it's at cleveland.com/Browns.